Okay, so you know how everyone's been obsessed with Meghan Markle since, like, forever? Well, the latest drama is seriously juicy, and it involves Netflix, her lifestyle brand as ever, and a whole lot of shade. Basically, Netflix just launched its first ever physical stores, right? Big deal for them, trying to expand their brand beyond just streaming. But here's the kicker. Absolutely no as ever products were anywhere to be seen. Not a sprinkle, not a coaster, not even a tiny little corner dedicated to Meghan's vision of elevated living. It's brutal, and honestly, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? I mean, think about it. Meghan and Harry signed this huge deal with Netflix. We got the docuseries, which, let's be real, was a ratings smash, even if it was also kinda whiny. You'd think Netflix would at least throw her a bone and give As Ever some prime shelf space. But nope, nada. This isn't just about some missing products. It's a blatant rejection. It's Netflix basically saying, yeah, we used you for the royal drama, but we're not convinced your lifestyle brand is worth our time or our shelf space. Ouch. The internet, of course, is having a field day. People are cracking jokes about how even the damn sprinkles didn't make the cut. And you know what? It's kind of funny because As Ever has been getting roasted since it launched. The whole thing just feels out of touch. Like, she's trying to sell this idea of simple, elegant living, but then charges insane prices for basic stuff. It's the classic celebrity trap, trying to sell minimalism at luxury prices. People see right through that. And the timing is terrible for Meghan. She's been trying to rebrand herself, to move beyond the royal narrative and establish herself as a serious businesswoman, a lifestyle guru. As Ever was supposed to be her big moment, her chance to shine on her own terms. But this Netflix snub, it throws a wrench in everything. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the public isn't buying what she's selling. Here's the thing, brands are ruthless. They jump on the bandwagon when it's popular, but they bail the second they sense things are going south. And right now, the vibe around Meghan's brand is definitely cooling off. The docuseries buzz has faded, the royal drama is getting old, and people are starting to get tired of the whole victim narrative. Netflix is a business. They care about numbers, engagement, and public perception. And clearly, they didn't think As Ever would boost their bottom line or their brand image. They probably looked at the sales figures, the social media engagement, and the overall buzz, and decided it wasn't worth the risk. It's a harsh lesson for Meghan. She's used to controlling the narrative, to shaping her own image, but this is out of her control. The optics are terrible. It looks like Netflix is prioritizing other brands, other celebrities, other products, and that sends a very clear message. Meghan's star power might be fading. Even Kevin Hart would have something to say about this. He'd probably do a whole comedy bit about it, wandering around the store looking for the As Ever section, asking employees if he's in the wrong place. He'd nail it, because the situation is just so absurd. This whole thing is reminiscent of other celebrity brand fails, the ones that start with glossy photos and end with companies quietly distancing themselves. It's never a loud, public breakup. It's always subtle, a silent rejection that stings even more. Meghan has been pushing As Ever so hard. The photo shoots, the interviews, the perfectly curated Instagram posts. She's been trying to force people to love it, to buy into her vision. But sometimes, the public just says no. And in this case, Netflix amplified that no in a big way. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, right? I mean, she's been banking on this Netflix deal for like forever to give her brand some legit street cred. She probably thought, hey, I'm Meghan Markle. People love me or love to hate me, whatever. I'll just slap my name on some stuff and it'll sell like hotcakes. But that ain't how it works. Netflix isn't stupid. They're not going to throw money at something that's clearly not working. I bet you anything they did their research, saw the numbers weren't there, and were like, nah, we're good. It's got a sting though. Imagine thinking you're all that and a bag of chips. Launching this brand you're convinced is going to redefine elegance, and then the company you're partnered with pretends it doesn't even exist. Like, damn. And let's be real. The problem isn't just the products themselves. It's the whole vibe. She's trying to sell this image of effortless sophistication, but it comes across as totally contrived. It's like she's trying too hard, you know? People can smell that phoniness a mile away. She's talking down to people, telling them how to live, what to buy, what's chic. But who is she to tell us that? She hasn't lived a normal life in years. She's been living in palaces and mansions, surrounded by stylists and chefs. She's completely out of touch with the average person. And the prices? Don't even get me started. A jar of sprinkles that costs more than my rent? Come on. People aren't dumb. They know when they're being ripped off. I think she thought she could just step into the same lane as people who built their brands on being relatable and authentic. But she just can't pull it off. It all feels so curated, so perfect, so fake. Look, people want real. They want raw. They want to see someone who's been through the same struggles they have. They don't want some princess telling them how to live their lives. And that's why As Ever is failing. It's not connecting with people on an emotional level. It's just a bunch of pretty packaging and empty promises. Netflix probably saw all this. They saw the low engagement, the lukewarm reviews, the sarcastic comments, and they made a business decision. It wasn't personal, but it sure felt like it. She tried everything too. The influencer tactics, the emotional messaging, the soft voice, the serious eyes. She tried to look like the queen of simplicity, but the internet wasn't buying it. They joked about her sprinkles. They questioned the prices. They side-eyed the messaging. Every promo felt like she was selling to an audience that had already checked out. It's a tough lesson, but she needed to hear it. You can't force popularity. You can't manufacture demand. You can sell your brand in every interview, but at the end of the day, the public decides. And the public decided to walk right past As Ever without a second glance. She wanted this brand to be her new identity, something bigger than the royal noise, something she built herself. But creating a successful lifestyle line takes more than image. It takes connection. It takes trust. It takes relevance. And she's struggling in all three areas. People are tired of the constant reinventions. First actress, then royal, then activist, now lifestyle mogul. Every shift feels like a reboot that never fully loads. So when she promoted As Ever, the public rolled its eyes. They felt like they were watching another attempt to cash in on a narrative that doesn't match the reality. It's brutal, I know, but sometimes you gotta face the facts. And the facts are that As Ever is a flop, and Netflix just made that very, very clear. Meghan might try to pull a rabbit out of a hat, you know? She's not one to just sit down and take an L. We'll probably see a whole new marketing campaign, maybe a relaunch with some celebrity endorsements. She might even try to play the victim card again, blaming the media or the haters for her brand's failure. But honestly, I don't think it'll work. The damage is done. People have already made up their minds about As Ever, and it's going to be tough to change their perception. Plus, the market is so saturated with lifestyle brands. Everyone and their mother is selling organic candles or ethically sourced tote bags. What's she even offering that's different? Nothing, really. It's just another celebrity-endorsed brand with overpriced products and a pretentious message. People are tired of that. They want something real, something authentic, something that doesn't feel like it's trying to manipulate them. And here's the thing. This Netflix smackdown isn't just about sprinkles and coasters. It's about her overall image. She's been trying so hard to control the narrative, to portray herself as this virtuous, empowering, woke icon. But people are starting to see through the facade. The royal drama, the constant complaining, the hypocrisy, it's all catching up to her. She can't just keep blaming everyone else for her problems. At some point, she has to take responsibility for her own actions. And let's be real, a lot of this is about race, right? She's a black woman in a predominantly white space, and she's been subjected to a lot of unfair criticism and scrutiny. But she's also made some questionable choices that have fueled the fire. She can't expect people to blindly support her just because she's a woman of color. She has to earn their respect, and she hasn't been doing a very good job of that lately. The problem is that she's surrounded by yes men, people who are afraid to tell her the truth. She needs someone to be honest with her and say, "Hey Meghan, this isn't working. You need to change your approach." But I don't see that